Thank goodness it's fall time. I don't know how excited you are, but I am very excited. It is the knitters and crocheters prime time. Any yarny, it is your season. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Let's Get Kraken podcast. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. I always really appreciate it that you come and spend time with me. If you are a new viewer, also welcome. Thank you for joining me on my little corner of the internet and taking some time out of your day to listen to me babble about all that I've been making. I'm Eden. I'm the owner of Kraken Made, where I sell handmade treasures such as progress keepers, hand-dyed yarn, and my own pattern designs. You can find me on Instagram as Crafting Kraken Made. You can also find me and my patterns on Lovecrafts and Payhip. This weird noise, somebody outside. All the information of my internet links will be down below, along with all the links to the stuff I talk about. So it is fall, and better yet, when this podcast is up, it will be October. Yes. The cold seasons, they're my favorite. I do love fall. I'll be honest, I am a full-on Christmas person, so I'm excited for those times to come, but I am relishing the fall season coming and the weather slowly getting colder. It's not quite cold yet, but it's getting there. So I've got some candles going. Not gonna catch fire on the flowers. They didn't last time, but I made extra sure this time, so I'm not worried about them. And I've got my iced coffee today. I'm just mixing summer and autumn in my skull glass mason jar thing. I love this so much. I'm not a Halloween person, I'm not a spooky stuff person, but I love skulls because they remind me of Pirates of the Caribbean, which is my favorite fandom. So this brings the pirate out in me. So that's why I love the Halloween season, especially in stores, because I can get my hands on piratey skulls, such as this jar. Okay, so I have acquisitions actually. My mom went to Knit City. I did not. I stayed home and helped take care of my brothers, because that's usually what happens. And my mom goes with Holly of Tofino Knit Co. to help her out in her booth. But she brought me back some goodies, which I'm very excited about. I've got progress on some new works in progress and a finished object. And I have finished object, which isn't here, but I will talk about that in a moment. Yeah. Oh, and I'll start off by talking about what I'm wearing. I'm not wearing much yarny stuff today, but this is a cowl that I made a very long time ago. I was intending to make the ever popular granny stripe blanket, and then I downsized to say, okay, I'm going to make a granny stripe wrap because I don't think I can commit to a blanket. And then I got about this far and was like, yeah, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to just make a granny stripe cowl, which worked out very well. It's very simple. You can definitely see the seam right there. That's okay. I like it a lot. It's great to use up a little bit of your scraps. To do so, I just followed the instructions from Attic 24, and you basically cast on how much you would have for a cowl. This is just a average, I don't know. I would make this bigger so I could double wrap it, but it works good as just a little bit of a neck warmer. And then on my feet here, I've got, let's see if I can do this. I've got my DK Ruel Socks, which is my own pattern design. Yeah, I have a fingering weight. I totally drew a blank there. I have a fingering weight version of this, and then this is the DK. I held fingering double, and it is totally a one hank project. This would be amazing for Christmas gifts. Just saying, these make great slipper socks or boot socks. Oh, and I knit these in root beer float from KZ Knits. And I love them so much. I'm going to be definitely making more slipper socks for gifts this holiday season, which I have one started. And I will show you that in whips. But before we get into that, I am going to segue into my half-finished object. Holly of Tofino Knit Co. needed a sample sock knit up in a hurry, and it is for the Cider House Socks by Summerlee Knits. I'm going to throw in a picture, or no, I have a video in here. And yeah. So here they are. I knit these on size 2.25 millimeter needles, magic loop, as I always do. This pattern is so amazing because you just get carried away with the cable repeats, how easy they are. And I did my very first teal flap and gusset on these, and yet the yarn went so well together, and yeah, it was fantastic. So yeah, that is my first half-finished object. I don't know if it'll ever be a finished object, but maybe. I don't know if Holly wants a full pair of socks or not, but I have the yarns with me. She will have it listed on her website when she has these, I'm pretty sure. Let's head over to Tofino Knit Co. You can find some Cider House socks, or message her on Instagram and she will help you put a set together. This is the main color. This is on her tweed fingering. It is wonderful. It is a 2-ply superwash merino and nylon. Yeah, so there's the main. Wonderful, wonderful. It's super soft. And then here are the contrasting minis. I have the red here. This is all a 2-ply superwash merino and nylon. The red is just so bright. It really is that bright. It's amazing. And then just the white for the cuff and toe. That's for stripes. It's a great set. So those are what is left from the first sock. I did not knit that first sock to a proper size, but that's okay. It was needed to be done fast. Okay, so moving on to my full finished object. I finished the Fingerless Mitts for my brother. I don't have the book with me. I will grab it in just a sec. I'll just talk about the yarn that I used for this. This is made out of my own hand-dyed yarn. This is chocolate on my Whirlpool DK base, which is a 2-ply non-superwash merino and then 1-ply superwash merino. So you have that mix of the lighter, which is the pure wool, and then the darker is the superwash. It's just so much fun. And yeah, I crocheted these with a 3.75 millimeter hook, or F hook, which is smaller than what the pattern calls for. But I am so excited about these, and I'm sure my brother will be too. These will be a surprise gift for him later on in the month. But they are just so amazing and so comfortable. They fit my hands really well. He had a pair of these years and years ago, which were originally made out of Knit Picks Stroll, which is also whatever dark brown they had at the time, which is a wonderful yarn. It's nice and soft and easy to work with, but it doesn't wear well. That's what I found, that with socks or anything you make out of it, it has to be something that's not going to get a lot of abrasion, because it will just wear out in no time. So I'm really happy to make these out of a more woolly yarn, and hopefully they last a very long time. I will grab the pattern book. Okay, so these are the Hobbit inspired Fingerless Gloves for Guys by Jen Spears. I just have it in a giant binder. And I made the Bombar mittens. She has very clear instruction and nice charts for stuff. It is a great pattern and I highly recommend it. It is only available on Ravelry, which I am not on Ravelry anymore. I bought this a very long time ago when I was on Ravelry. But she does have a simple fingerless mitt pattern on her website that you can follow, and just gives the same idea. It is awesome. So those are done, and I'm very happy they are. I've just kept them in my little bag here my mom made me a very long time ago. I love it. Okay, so works in progress. What should I start with? Let's go with this one. This is what I've just been working on. So I talked about this a few episodes ago, that I wanted to knit my sisters-in-law some socks for Christmas. And I did start some socks. These were originally going to be the Jemima Socks by KF Jones of Bakery Bears. But I was feeling like there's nothing wrong with the pattern, but I was feeling like they needed to be something else. They needed to be a little more, not practical, because they were practical socks, but I guess something that they would wear more. So I decided to just take it out, and I'm going to knit them some DK weight slipper socks so they can wear them around the house, or they can wear them in their boots. They're so awesome for in snow boots or gum boots during the cold season. They will keep your feet nice and toasty. Oh, and I totally forgot about this, but for the Cider House socks and this sock, I am doing heel flap and gussets. I have never done that before, so I'm so excited to finally learn how to do that. It is much easier than I thought they were. So this is very exciting, and it'll probably fit their feet nicely and comfortably. I'm not following a specific pattern. I have the vanilla DK weight socks by the Crazy Sock Lady. And what I've done is, once I was finished the cuff, I just continued on the ribbing through the foot so that it had a nice amount of stretch and was not going to be tight on their feet. And yeah, the amazing thing that has come out of these socks is that I have so far only knit socks for me and my husband and my mom. I think I've knit one pair for her. But that was for feet that were available to me. I've never knit socks as a surprise for somebody that I couldn't have their direct measurements. And so I am really relearning how to knit socks to the proper size because, okay, total side tangent, but I'm going to say this because it's mind-blowing to me. When I first started making socks, I don't know where I read it or heard it or was told it. I don't think I was told. But in my brain, I made the assumption that your shoe size was equal to how many inches your foot was, which makes no sense whatsoever when you really look at it. But it made sense in my head. So I have been knitting socks wrong all my sock knitting life. I'm actually using a proper sock ruler. This is from Farmer's Daughter Fibers. It's got a little sticky note so I know how long I have to knit the foot of my sister-in-law's sock before I do the toe. But it just blew my mind that this is how big a foot was, which is a very weird assumption. But yeah, so I'm learning how to properly make socks using a sock ruler. I highly recommend having a sock ruler, and you can find some online that will tell you how many inches you have to knit in order to fit this shoe size. So I am knitting for a US women's size 6. So I'm going to work up to 6 3/4 and then do the toe to make it to size 6. So that means all the socks I have for myself are the wrong size. Because for me, I should actually be knitting to about 7 3/4, something like that, or to 8 inches, and then doing my toe. Instead, I've always been knitting to 7 inches and then doing my toe. Now, it fits on my foot, but I've never had a sock that doesn't has negative ease in the foot. I thought that was normal. It's not. You should have a sock that fits comfortably around your foot without rubbing on your toes or your heel. Oh, well. So, all that to say is, I am working down the foot and it will actually fit her. I can say that in confidence. I'm not going to be worried about it not fitting. And now I will be able to knit socks for myself in the proper size. So you will probably see some socks in my works in progress soon, so I can finally figure out what it's like to wear a proper size sock. But I'm just knitting this of Knit Picks Static in the Adventure colorway. This was a gift to me by Amy Kate of the Graceful Tangle. It was the 100-gram skein in our advent calendar trade. It is great. They're not making this anymore. I don't know if they have any left in their store, but maybe. So I'm just holding that double for the DK weight sock, and it is working out amazing. The progress keepers I have on here are my own. This was last fall's progress keeper. It's a little truck with pumpkins in the back. And then here is a brand new painting progress keeper. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's a little nebula. And these are now available in the shop. And I'm doing these on size 3.25 millimeter needles, US 3s. And I'm just doing them magic loop as I always do. So I'm having a lot of fun, and it is so easy to make these socks because it's way faster than regular fingering weight socks. But I love them, and I will be taking apart the original socks I had that were kind of going to be a design, but I wasn't feeling it. I really wasn't into the design. So I'm going to take it apart, and I'm going to do the exact same thing in that pair. All right. So next work in progress, I'm going to talk about this wonderful blanket. I'm still putting so much work into my neat ripple blanket. I'm following the instructions from Attic 24. Oh, sorry, I'm putting that right next to the microphone. I'm sure that doesn't sound good at all. I'm going to stand up to show you. All right, here we go. I'm using a size 4mm crochet hook. I don't know what that is in lettering. Sorry. Okay. Let's see where I was. I'm right in the middle here. If that's okay. Pull it out so it doesn't. Ta-da! Whoop. It's getting too big to show. Whoop. It's pretty heavy now. So I have pretty much doubled what was shown last time. And yeah, this little progress keeper, if you can see it, whoop, right here. That's how much I've done since last time. Okay, I haven't doubled it, but it's a lot. And it's looking so cool. I love this blanket so much. And it just pulls my attention in all the time. I don't want to stop working on it. The only thing that's going to stop me is that I'm going to run out of scraps soon. Just fold this up. So I'm just holding my fingering weight scraps. Double, it is all superwash scraps that I've collected over the years from past projects. And here is what I have left. I'm down to 2 cakes now, and they're pretty close in size. So I'm hoping this amount of yarn will probably get me to halfway through the blanket. I'm hoping to make it at least 6 feet. That will be pretty good, which is a little bit taller than I am. So it'll be perfect size for my double bed. And yeah, so it's gonna have to sit for a little while until I get more scraps to throw into it. I'm gonna wait until I can build up some more cakes, because that is the way I like having my scraps available, and it makes it kind of a mystery, so I don't know what is going to start working up together. Yeah, my neat ripple blanket, I am making this with Jana of the Finnish Knitting Stories podcast. She's running the Happy Scrappy Blanket Mal. You can see that on Instagram, or you can go to her podcast. I will link her down below. I love her podcast. She's so sweet and funny and such an inspiration with all her projects. So this was her doing, and I'm so glad she did. And I'm just keeping this in my ginger snap bag that holds a huge blanket with plenty of room. Oh, here's my crochet hook. I'm just using a Knit Picks Rainbow Wood crochet hook in size 4mm. It's my labyrinth themed bag. And you can see plenty of room in there, so I know that it will hold this blanket very well. And it works perfectly to just open it up and work on it through. It doubles as your basket, for sure. Love that. Right. I have been doing teeny tiny bit of work on my other Advent blanket, my other knit one that I talked about last time. Thank you so much to everybody who gave their opinion, and I'm going to follow your advice and just knit it. I'm going to work on it here and there. Just take my time with it and don't put pressure on it, because I think if I put pressure on finishing it as quickly as possible, it's gonna take the joy out of it. So I'm just gonna take my time with that. And I will show it when I get a substantial amount of work done on it, because I don't want to bore you guys with the same blankets over and over again. But I hope to at least get a quarter of the way through by this Christmas. And this Christmas, I'm going to crochet my blanket, which will be fun. Okay, this work in progress, I am so excited about. I got so much work done on it because I could not stop working on it. It is, ta-da! Okay, this is my DRK Everyday Sweater by Andrea Mowry. It is a DK weight sweater that I am knitting out of my own hand-dyed yarn in basalt in my Whirlpool DK base. Again, 2-ply merino, 1-ply superwash merino. It is so good. It's so soft and comfortable and fits me very well. I know I couldn't stop talking about it last time of it's going to be too big, it's going to be too small. I had to cut a whole part of that podcast just because I kept saying the same things over and over again, basically. And by the time I had edited the podcast, I knew it was going to be okay. So it is the perfect amount. Oh dear. I've got one sleeve on the needles here. Be careful. Ooh. It is the perfect amount of baggy, but not like huge. Pull that down. How cool is that? And I know because it's mostly wool, it's not going to stretch out, so I don't have to worry about it just like, like ballooning. It'll be nice when I have the bottom ribbing nicely blocked so it doesn't pucker like that. But there it is. It is so soft and comfortable. I find this sweater has a really good fit as a raglan top. Get my hair out of there. And it's such a great colorway. I have found that you don't need to alternate skeins for this because of the barber pole effect in the yarn. You get a little bit of variation here and there, like you can see it in the yoke that I have lighter sections than the others, but it's not going to pool on you because those two colors are already marling. It's already like, I don't know how else to explain that it's got you covered. It is, if you are really getting into sweaters, if you're gonna knit your very first sweater, I highly recommend this yarn because you don't have to worry about alternating skeins or making sure that your colors are lining up. Pooling is not going to be a huge deal. It's a very beginner friendly yarn. And I'm knitting this on size 4.5 millimeter needles, which is much bigger than the size it calls for. Oh dear, I did this wrong. I was trying not to pull on that arm very much. Yeah, it's fine. I do my sleeves on magic loop because I just find magic loop the easiest to do. And yeah, 4.5 is how I got gauged to the sweater. My first sweater I ever did, it's actually right here because I was wearing it this morning. I adore it, but my gauge was quite small. Here it is. This is my first DRK sweater that I adore. I held fingering double for this one. My gauge was a little small, but it fits me okay. Really love this pattern. And I would gladly knit a third, to be honest, because it really highlights the amazing yarn that you use. Did I say I'm knitting size 3? I hope I did. I'm knitting size 3, which is much more positive ease than it recommends, but I'm really glad I did, because it'll be something I am drawn to wearing most times. When I want a sweater, I'm going to be drawn to wearing this one the most, because it's a little bit oversized and baggy and gives you that cozy feeling, that like a hug, I guess. And the wool is going to keep me nice and toasty this cold season. Yeah, you can see a little bit of variation in there, but it's not pooling. And even in the body, it goes right away. So this is really just caused by increases. But it's very even, which is awesome. And I have dyed up more of this yarn, so by the time this podcast has gone out, there is one sweater quantity, about 7 skeins of this colorway will be ready to ship. So that's about 1 sweater quantity if you want, but I do have the sweater quantity option available for this base if you want to knit a sweater out of this. If you want a different color, absolutely, there will be enough available for you. Of this, there's only 1 sweater quantity available because I had to dye more, because I need 1 more of these for sleeve. I think I'm like 90% sure I'm gonna need 1 more. Anyway, I am jumping all over the place. To sort out what I just said, if you need translation, I just dyed up some more of this. So there's enough to make about probably a size 4, possibly 5 of a basalt sweater in the DRK pattern, if you want to make one. If it's gone by now, there is a sweater quantity option available, so I can dye up more of this if you want a basalt sweater, or if you want a chocolate sweater, or maybe a first mate. There is enough first mate available for a whole sweater. So, all that to say is, this is an amazing sweater yarn. Highly recommend. That is really pushing like shameless promotion, but I want to share what I've learned with this yarn and that I really enjoyed. I find it a very practical yarn. And I'm just keeping this in another ginger snap bag. This is buffalo plaid. I love this bag so much. And it is the perfect sweater bag. I use both of my ginger snap bags as purses for a while as well, because it works great. But they're being held as project bags right now. So that is all my works in progress that I'm currently putting a lot of work into. My basalt sweater hopefully will be done for the next podcast. I'll probably be wearing it. That's exciting. If you are a longer term viewer, you're probably wondering, Eden, where is your halibut sweater? It has been in timeout, but I'm going to set the goal to do 2 rounds of color work a day, and so it should take me about over 2 weeks to finish that color work if I stick to that schedule. So I will show you a lot more progress next time on that sweater. It will get done. I love it. I really enjoy working on it. It's just the color work rows have gotten so long that it wears you down a little bit, but you have the motivation to work on it because it's so beautiful. The pattern is amazing, very clearly written. The charts are great. It's just I've run out of steam to do the rows. So I will get there. I will start doing 2 rows of that a day, and that will help me to finish the color work part of it. And I say that, and then I'm going to start a different sweater because I need a different thing. I do have another sweater planned but I am waiting for the other people that will knit it with me to be ready. So hopefully I can get the color work done on my Hobbit sweater, so that is out of the way for a new colorwork sweater that I have planned. Okay, so acquisitions. Let's get this out of here. So yeah, my mom had gone to Knit City to help sell at the Tofino Knit Co booth, and she got me some goodies. So I'll start with the Tofino Knit Co. She did a mystery sock set. I don't know what you call it. She sold mystery sock sets at Knit City as something fun to do. It was a movie night themed mystery. So what it was in a little popcorn container, and it had the movie quote on it, and you had to guess what the movie was. And inside was a packet of microwave popcorn and your sock set. So I have the Howl's Moving Castle sock set. I love that movie. Adore it so much. And actually, I didn't think about it till later, but all my acquisitions are Howl's Moving Castle themed. Whoops. But this is here's another curse for you. May all your bacon burn. So we have Calcifer right here, and we have Howl right here. Tofino Knit Co. This is on her Stub Island sock. 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. They are 50 gram hanks. So I'm thinking I will probably make some night and day socks. Alternate them, maybe. We'll see. But I love how it's rich, but it's neutral. If that makes sense. It's very gem toned. I love that. And then I had seen this on All Points North Instagram, and I knew I really wanted this yarn. And so I asked my mom specifically to go and hunt it out. So this is All Points North Yarn Co. And this is Port Haven Marsh on her Sweet Sock, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, which is very cool. I've never seen that before. And it says on the thing, hand dyed with love and possibly swear words in 100 Mile House, BC, which is very cool because I used to live there, but that was before she was there, unfortunately. So Port Haven Marsh, and it's got a really cool mix of pink, blue, got some red, green, and the bright orange in there. And then this one already has the ball band off because I want to knit it. This is the Hat Shop, also on her Sweet Sock base. And I mean, how pretty is that? I love it. I'm gonna definitely cast on some socks with this soon. You'll probably see it start knitting up in the next podcast. I probably won't be that patient. I do want to finish some of these first. But, oh, I want to work with my new yarn. So that is my acquisitions going into my stash. Hopefully be worked up soon. I've been having the goal that I'm going to start working through my stash and getting through it, so when I start knitting projects, I will knit or crochet. I will be working with my own hand-dyed yarn more often. But I couldn't resist. It's so nice. Thank you, Mom, for getting these for me. I love them. And yeah, those are my acquisitions from Knit City. I hope those who went had a lot of fun. I saw a lot of people doing stuff on their Instagrams. It looked like so much fun. Hopefully I can make it next year. That's the hope. Yeah, so that's all I've got here. Life has been pretty normal hair. This is life stuff. If you're gonna go, thank you so much for joining me and talking about yarny stuff. You're free to go if you don't want to hear me babble about life. Man, life is pretty neutral at the moment, but is going to get busy because I will be moving again soon, probably at the very end of the year, which is very exciting. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. If you don't know, because of work that goes on in my family, we have moved a lot over time, and my dad is getting a promotion, and me and my husband have decided to go with them wherever they move, and that is very exciting because we will just be moving back to the mainland of British Columbia, down into the Caribou, where I have lived before, and I love it so much. I grew up there for most of my childhood, so it's very nostalgic for me, and I'm very excited. That will cause a lot of issues with the shop and probably the holiday season. So I will give you updates on when there is actually a plan. We don't know when we're moving yet. We haven't gotten the thumbs up from the people at whatever office to give us the green light to start house hunting and stuff. So it's going to get busy, but it's going to be very exciting. And I hope to be doing some more yarn dyeing soon. And thank you so much to everybody who has bought Progress Keepers from the sale and then the 12 Days of Christmas at Sea Advent. Thank you so much. It means a lot. We put a lot of work into those Advents, so you purchasing them makes me do a little dance every time. Honestly, every time I see it pop up on my screen, I'm like, yes. So it means a lot. I still have some available in the shop, and those will be shipping out pretty soon, near the end of October. I will leave them up for a while, but if you want them in time for Christmas, do order it now, because I will be shipping them probably the end of October. Yeah, and the sale on for Polymer Clay Progress Keepers is still going. All Progress Keepers, anything polymer clay really, are $5 each, and then polymer clay earrings are $10. Everything, all of it. It all has to go by the end of the year. So the sale is going on till the end of the year, and when 2023 comes around, I'm going to take all of it off, and whatever's left, I'm just gonna keep for myself. And so if there's something that you really like on the Kraken Made website, do grab it, because once it's gone, it's gone. And yeah, I will not be working with polymer clay anymore, but there are a lot of watercolor Progress Keepers that I'm excited to do. I will still be doing hoggles because I really enjoy those, but mainly I want to turn my attention to painting more, because that is a hobby that I don't get a lot of time for. Knitting and crocheting takes up a lot of my time, but I really love painting, and so I wanted to implement that more into my work, and that is how I'm doing so. Okay, I have babbled a lot. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, morning, evening, whatever time it is there that is full of yarny goodness and joy. And I will see you next time. Bye.